Survival crops are a really hot topic right now. Everybody's looking for food security. Now imagine a plant that you can put in the ground. It's going to give you massive yields that you can harvest any time of year. And to make it even better, this plant's going to spread and produce even more. Your only limit is going to be space. If you live in the United States, this plant is a native, so you can feel good that you're planting a native. When you plant it, it'll help you break tough ground in case you got clay soil. The pollinators love it, and you can use it for livestock feed. There's no special soil prep. If you can do this, you can grow this crop. The plant I'm talking about is the Jerusalem Artichoke, also known as the Sunchoke. Now, it's pretty much just a perennial native sunflower to where I live in Michigan. And it grows these underground tubers that you can use as a potato replacement. Now, I will not eat this crop because it will destroy your guts. But some people have different ways to cook it and have better results. I personally just feed it to my chickens, and I plant it for the pollinators and biomass for composting. Despite the gastric distress it's going to cause for some people, it is supposed to be a very healthy crop. It's supposed to be good for your heart, digestive health, and it's good for people with diabetes. And allegedly, it even has some cancer-fighting properties. So today, I'm going to show you how to grow this crop. Now, I grew it last year. I really like this crop. We're starting a nursery here, so I'm going to be creating some nursery stock. So I'm planting out more patches of these Jerusalem artichokes. Now I'm going to put these Jerusalem artichokes right here in a big patch. So let's prepare our planting site. Okay, we're done preparing the planting site. Now to grow sunchokes, you're going to need to purchase some tubers. Sunchokes spread by rhizomes, so you're going to get some tubers. I got mine off eBay for 20 bucks for about a pound of them. And I ended up planting them over here, right next to the currant bushes. And they grew about 14 feet tall. They were absolutely massive, and they started to spread through this region. You can see here where I've cut them flush to the ground. Now underneath here, there's going to be a bunch of new tubers because these are going to spread and run. To expand my planting, I'm going to dig up these tubers in here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to miss some. It's almost impossible to dig up each one. Even a tiny piece left over is going to grow into a new plant. So let's just go in here pretty close to the stump of this one, and we're just going to turn up the soil. And I'm already seeing a lot of tubers in here. There's one right there falling out. It's even sprouting. Nice. I'm just going to go ahead and grab several of these, and I'm going to toss them in a bucket. I'm going to show you how we're going to process these. So I've set some rainwater in here with these tubers. I'm going to go ahead and clean them off now. And take a look at these guys here. Nice roots even growing on some of these now. Some sprouts coming up. Each one of these little eyes is a new plant. So what I can do is I can take a knife, I can cut this thing up and have a bunch of plants just off of one of these tubers. But my favorite thing to do is find ones that have these lumps and tubers that are almost separated, and you take them and you're just gonna give it a crack. And right there is what I'm gonna plant to grow one plant. And then to plant this bad boy, I'm gonna take my shovel, stick it in the ground about 3 or 4 inches, and drop this guy in. Just like so. Then pull the shovel out, and take my foot, and give it a tap. It's April right now. By August, that's gonna be a 14-foot tall sunchoke. Now we could spend another 20 minutes here talking about growing sunchokes, but that shovel and stomp method is super effective. And that's something I saw on the Edible Acres channel, planting comfrey, planting sunchokes. I've grown hundreds and hundreds of plants that way. Right through lawn, doesn't even matter, no soil prep. Plants like these are just so vigorous. I mean, you could plant like hundreds and hundreds of plants within an hour with this method. And if you're limited on the amount of tubers you have with your first year and you want to grow more plants, like I said, each one of these little nubs right here is a new plant. So you can cut this to about 1/4 inch and grow a new plant. But I'm doing larger chunks here because this is going to be nursery stock, and I want bigger, more widespread tubers in this first year. Word of caution when you're determining where you want to grow these: if you have deer in your area, deer absolutely love to eat sunchokes. I've planted quite a few in this wildflower area here. You can see the leftover stalks of all the sunchokes, but look how short they are. That is because the deer kept nibbling at them on the ground, and as you can see, they just kept growing. But don't let that fool you. It did not affect the tubers underground. So even if animals are eating these to the ground, they're gonna keep spreading underground. I've even grown these in pure wood chips on top of landscape fabric. Some old areas the previous owners had where they had a bunch of landscape fabric down. We threw wood chips on top. I threw a couple of the rhizomes in there, and big sunchokes grow. So what kind of fertilizer should you use for your Jerusalem artichokes? None. Especially where I live, since these are native here, these are designed to take over prairie landscapes and even some of the worst soil. If you were looking for a video with more details on growing sunchokes, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I guess that is offset by the ease of planting these and that anybody can do it just about anywhere. Look up your grow zone. If it says you can grow these, plant them any way you want. And they'll grow. Just watch out. They do spread. They will take over eventually. But that's fine. Cut them down, dig them up as they run, spread them somewhere else. Thanks for watching.